of powers. The state cannot delegate its own case. So anytime you get a ticket, a criminal case, and they file it in district court, you need to file a motion to move to the proper court, Supreme Court, federal court, because the state can't hear its own case. You can't file a case for the state with the state. Come on, man. And the only reason why they getting it off because you keep consenting to that shit. You know what I'm saying? You keep on going in there and going through the procedures. You won't say nothing. They can't do that, man. That's a violation of law. You can't persecute and hear your own case. The prosecutor is suing for the state. He's the prosecutor for the state. How you suing for the state? And the state is the injured party, and the cop, the institution that presented the claim, is a state agency submitting the claim. So you submitting the claim for the state from a state agency. Then the prosecutor, which is a state agent, is suing for the state as an agent for the state. And then the cop is a witness that's witnessing the crime for the state. So all y'all working for an unknown entity that ain't gonna never even show up, speak, or say nothing. And we gotta go to jail for 20, 30 years for an unknown identified person. Because the state can't be identified. And you should never allow a prosecutor, attorney to speak in court. Anytime you in a court proceeding and the prosecutor speaks, you always object. Let him say what he got to say. Don't cut him off while he's speaking, because they'll consider that as, rude or disruptive, right? So you want to do things in proper procedure, right? You let him say what he got to say, and after he get done talking, you object, and you say hearsay. You say that that's hearsay evidence that the prosecuting attorney doesn't have the authority to issue any orders for this record, for he's a third party. He does not have firsthand knowledge, and only firsthand claimants can enter into the record. You got to know that, man. Listen, these people ain't gonna tell you nothing. They gonna do every scheme, every little trick they can to try to get something on the record against you. You got to know what goes on the record and what does not go on the record, and you got to hold these people accountable. Whenever you go to court, you should always challenge the jurisdiction. Always. Never go into a courtroom without first letting them know that you're making a special appearance. Now listen, they're going to play games with you, right? And I noticed that when you come into court and you say, hey, I'm appearing as the representative for John Henry Doe, and then they get to say, oh, well, John, we're going to say he's not here. We're just going to issue a warrant. So let Brother Isaiah tell you how to deal with that, so you don't never have that problem ever going into a courtroom. Whenever you go into a courtroom and they call your legal name out, this is what I want you to, and this is not legal advice, this is me sharing education of what I've done, okay? Whenever they call your legal name out in court, the first thing you want to say is, yes, I'm here for that matter. And then they're gonna probably ask you again, are you John Henry Doe? And then that's when you say, let the record reflect that I'm making a special appearance in my proper person as John Henry Doe, the living man. Here, only here to assert matters against the court to address matters against the court that have been asserted against me in my legal capacity as the defendant. Now, you want to say it like that, because if you don't say that, if you don't admit that the name that they call him, if you don't identify that as your name or a name similar to that name, they're going to say that that person is not there. See, but it's two persons. You got to remember, it's a legal person, but there's also a natural person that's always going to be a surety with a legal person. Every legal person has a surety as a natural person. So when they call out the legal name, you got to make sure that you address it in a special appearance as the natural person or the principal owner, right? And then you can come in, you can say, yes, I'm making a special appearance. Let the record reflect that I am the sole principal owner of Isaiah Jakeem. You say, I'm the sole principal owner, Isaiah Jakeem Bey. You got to use the same name, but you got to make sure that you distinctively make it clear that you are a personal representative. You got to make it distinctively clear that you are representative owner or something to that degree. You can use the exact same name. You just got to make sure that you're saying that you are the representative, or you are the